Hello everyone, welcome to Mama Jo's Kitchen. How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's having a really good day. Hey, I have a different video for you all today. I do have one other one on my channel currently at the moment. We are going to make a beverage today because it is a hot summer day here. As you can see, I've got the fan here going. If that's too bothersome or too noisy, I'm not sure. My son just installed this for me. I had a light there previously. The only problem with this is I don't know if it helps with the lighting in the kitchen, but it's kind of down low. Thankfully, my head, I don't have a problem with that. My husband, he's a little taller than me, so if he's not careful, he might hit the light part that hangs down there. So most of us know how to make sweet tea, I'm sure. But I'm making this a little bit different. On the stove here, I'm getting my water up to a boiling temperature, and then I'm going to turn it off, and I'm going to let our tea steep. And I'm making a gallon, so I'm using 4 of these family size tea bags. But what's going to make this a little bit different is, let me show you what I'm using. Now, last night in it's in my freezer. I'm going to pull it out and show you. Give me a second. Okay, they're frozen nice and solid now, but they're going to come out of this. This is like a silicone. I guess it's made for desserts, but I actually found this at the Goodwill. And, I thought this would be great because I was looking for a different ice tray. I had some of the regular kind, and then I ended up never using it, so I got rid of those. And now I have one. Let me show you this one that I got real quick. We use this one all the time. I mean, maybe if you have an ice maker, you don't need it. But like I said, I live in an old farmhouse. I have an old refrigerator. And this is really nice because it makes one huge, I don't know if you can see, how wide it is. I would say it's probably 2 inches by 2 inches. And when you pull this up, the whole ice cube comes out, and you put that in your glass or your drink. It's going to keep your drink cold. It doesn't melt like, fine ice does. And as soon as we take this out and we put it in the glass, we fill it right back up and stick it back in the freezer for the next person. It's just, at first I wasn't sure if we was going to like it, but we really liked it. So, but let me tell you how I did this. I had leftover frozen peaches from a dessert in a bag. And I left them frozen, and I put them on my chopping board back there, and I just cut them up so that they were a little bit smaller. And I filled these, these little round sections with the peaches. Then I took this Welch's Peach Medley Juice Cocktail, and I filled each one, over top of the peaches, and then I froze it. This is our ice cubes that we're going to use for our drink. Let me put this back in the freezer. Okay, we're going to use that, but I'm not quite ready for it. But what I'm going to tell you here is I have my gallon size glass jar. I already have 1 cup of sugar in the bottom here. Now, I know there's a big debate on how much sugar you put in tea. And because we're going to be also using some of this Peach Medley juice cocktail, Welch's, and I bought that at our local Weiss market. This is going to be a peach tea. And so I've got a cup, but what I'm going to do is I have 2 quarts here. So it takes 4 quarts to make a gallon. So when I get this up to a hot enough temperature, and I'm going to steep my bags, I would say, depends on how strong you like your tea. I personally don't like my tea really strong, but Michael does. So it'll probably be across, you know, somewhere in between there. I might steep it for maybe about 5 minutes, not super long, and then I will take the bags out and I will pour the hot liquid in here. Make sure, you know, of course, you don't want it to crack. This is glass. It's summertime, you know, so what I might do is let it cool off just a little bit before I pour it in here. Then I'm going to stir it real well to get the sugar dissolved. And then what I'm going to do is, this is, let me see how many ounces. All right, this was 2 quarts, which is 64 fluid ounces. I used some of it for my ice cubes. And then I took 1 cup out for a future dessert that you all do not want to miss. That dessert, I'm telling you, that's a really good one. And then, so I'm saving that 1 cup. So I still have over a quart here. But I might not use the whole thing, but I'll probably at least use a quart of this, which would be 4 cups. You know, because this, after all, this is peach tea. So this is still cold right now. Yeah, so I'll bring you back for the final steps of this. You know, because this is going to take a little while, you know, to come to temperature, let it steep. Then I'm going to let it cool slightly before I put it in here. And then what I'll do is when I add the peach to it, and I'll add, you know, I'll taste it and see if I want to add more peach, or if I need to add more sugar, or if I need to add more water. So I will let you know. We'll be right back. All right, folks, I brought you back just to show you where we're at here. Do you see all these bubbles? And they're just starting to come up. You know, so what I'm going to do now is I'm turning my stove off. I don't really want it boiling anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and get my tea bags in here. And I'm just going to kind of like, you know, just swirl them around here a little bit. I'm going to be very careful here. And I'm just going to let them hang out here. I'm going to take this off to the side because I don't need it to continue heating. And I'm going to give it, like I said, about 5 minutes, and then I'll probably take the tea bags out and I'll let it cool just maybe another 10 minutes. I just don't want it so hot that it could bust my jar. I mean, at least we're not in the winter time or anything like that. I don't think it would, but I'd rather err on, you know, the side of caution. And we'll be back, and guess who's going to give you a taste test here? You know, Michael loves tea anyway, and we both like peach. So, and you know, you could also make this with Truvia or Splenda or something like that. You know, for today's recipe, I decided to go with sugar. Okay, folks, look at the tea here. This is what I have. This is a gallon, exactly, because I measured everything out, and I put in 1 cup of sugar, but I tasted it after I added the peach juice, and I felt that it needed to be a little bit sweeter, so I put in another 1/2 of a cup. So I have 1.5 cups of sugar in here, and I have 4 cups of the peach juice. And then I put in that last, because remember I had 2 quarts of water on the stove. So I ended up with 1 more quart of water. And like I said, I added, you know, the other sugar, and I stirred it really well. And I have about 1 inch here headspace. You want some space because if you want to add some ice cubes to this, I thought about adding, you know, the leftover, I had even some more peach slices that are frozen, and, you know, I might add to this right before serving, and then remember I have those ice cubes. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to set this in the refrigerator and let it start getting cold. I mean, if you were serving this to company, You might want to, if you're going to ice it up, you might want to taste it, and you might want to go with that extra. I know some people like really sweet tea. You know, some people go with 2 cups. You know, me, I like, you know, my tea a little bit, you know, less sweet. So, you know, 1.5 is plenty. Plus, you got, you know, you got to take into consideration the peach juice, you know, has some sugar in it too. So don't forget we have the ice cubes. You could put the ice cubes in here if you were serving it, or you could put it in a glass. That's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to put those peach cubes, fill it up in a glass, and I'm going to let this go ahead and get cold in the refrigerator since I don't have company or anything. And when Michael gets home, he's out. Father's Day is tomorrow. And his daughter and my son-in-law took him out to eat. So I need to go run some errands. I'll be back here shortly. For you guys, it'll be just a second. You don't have to wait. It might be a few hours for us, but we'll be back for this taste test. So stick with us. We appreciate you all. Thank you for watching.
How you doing, YouTube? Welcome to Momma Jo's Kitchen. Today we got a treat. Peach tea with peach and peach juice ice cubes. Can't wait for this. I love tea. I love peach tea. This is going to be definitely refreshing on a hot day. That's perfect. If you're a fan of peach tea, you have got to give this one a go. This is absolutely amazing. Just full of peach flavor. The tea flavoring's there. It's enough of the tea flavor to really, if you like tea like me, you're going to love this. If you like peach tea, you're definitely going to love this. The peach is like, it's not overly sweet. It's just the perfect amount of sweet. It's the perfect amount of flavor. And on a hot day, I guarantee you this is going to cool you down. It's going to quench your thirst. And it's delicious. Give this recipe a try. Give it 2 thumbs up. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Check out the video where Momma Jo makes this. Make you some of this, especially with the weather getting hot the way it's been. You'll enjoy it. Thank you. Good night.